No, I must fight Shao Kahn because when you needed a combo breaker. Ow.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of GEEK SPOT. The first ever in live episode with the GEEK SPOT. Everything we are live, we are in person. You can see. Okay, I'll admit I'm tall, guys. I know people.
You finally accepted it.
I finally accepted it.
Okay.
Every person I meet for the first time in person, the first thing they say is, "Jeez, oh my!"
This is not GEEK SPOT anymore. This is Tall Anonymous. We want to welcome Tebello to the stage. Hi, Tebello. Do you have a confession to make?
Yes, I'm 1.86 meters tall. The suspect has been found. I've been accused of being height phobic, but you know what? I just realized that I'm just taller than everyone. So everybody's short to me.
We of the short community.
So if anybody has a bald spot, you'll be the first to spot them.
I call them sunspots. That's how people charge up.
That's hilarious.
So we have, usually there's about a 5-minute interview where the disclaimer is disclaimering. We go into details because we can go off the kilter a lot in this show. So we have to make sure that the dear viewer, you have a disclaimer that's just scrolling through. Read it at your leisure so that you can enjoy
this is GEEK SPOT. This is not.
Yes, it is. Even in the GEEK SPOT, every KC Media production has a disclaimer.
Okay.
But we have an awesome guest today. Usually, I've met him from behind the camera, but this guy seems like he's just as comfortable in front of the camera than he is behind the camera. I think of the three of us, he most probably has the most experience in terms of this industry.
Definitely.
Yeah. He's an actual professional. We're not, we just cosplay.
And one of the things I admire the most about him is that he's extremely humble, even in his skills. He's what we refer to as the speaker build. You won't see his power level up until he unleashes it. It's just hidden it because he doesn't. You know, when you are self-secure, you don't need to show off. The people who are dressed up to the nines and trying to say "Hey, Mponeng," you can see there's nothing of value inside. But this one has substance because I met him at Afro Geeks for the first time. We had this in-depth discussion.
Which was the 2020.
Guys, we're interviewing Goku today.
Yeah, he's basically the Goku. And every person I know has been referring to him in one way or another. I mean, yesterday we were speaking to Vivian, and he was like, you should speak to SMILO. I was like, oh my goodness.
I was hanging out with Wandy. Shout out to Wasabi X. I was hanging out with Wandy, and she was like, "Yeah, so you guys interviewing SMILO? Wow." I was like, okay.
So we are here. We usually have an icebreaker game to smooth things along.
I got one since we're talking gaming.
Yes.
I got one. Quick one. Okay, which tournament would you rather compete in? With Tekken or Street Fighter?
I take Street Fighter.
Nice.
Nice. It's a legacy IP for people like us, for us in the hoods. But if you really think about it, how many Tekken arcade machines are there? Sort of like those rare, nuanced, special arcades with the 16 by 9 wide screens. Whereas with the normal arcades, they're usually 16 by 9 but vertical line.
Yeah.
So with Tekken, it's a legacy IP. It's been there for the longest of times. And also with communities, the first thing you think of when you think of arcades, Street Fighter, way before any other titles.
When we were all mispronouncing all of the attacks. Tip, cute kid.
Hadouken, yeah,
Voila fire! Voila flame!
Precisely.
Man, it was so good to have you here, dog. So you do like a bunch of things. Last time we chopped it up, we found out that you were a manager for Wasabi X. That was like
guys, we haven't even started the icebreaker game.
I thought I did.
That was the only it was only question 1.1.
Oh, stop. My bad. I'll wait. Next.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so I just want to go. I'm more into the gamer lore. Okay. So where would you rather be an NPC at, right? Would you be basically a background character Would you rather be a battle character in the Mortal Kombat universe? Or would you rather be a Mortal Kombat?
Okay, what's option B? Because that better be a good one.
Would you rather be a background character in the Marvel vs. Capcom universe?
You're killing me over here.
That's hard.
That's what I wanted those two words because it's thick. It goes and spans over multiple titles. You're killing me here. I could back grandpa, but now.
Shout out to Grandpa.
Wait, sponsor us first. Now what?
Sponsored, not sponsored.
Use beef brand. Do you want? I'll put a square here in editing. I don't know how. Use this thing for your headache. This thing.
Let's say 30 seconds.
Okay, I know my answer.
Okay.
SMILO.
In fact, for an icebreaker and a breather, let me hear yours to warm me up because it's tough.
Yo, okay, so Mortal Kombat, you've got Shao Kahn. Hey, you've got Raiden who doesn't help anybody. Raiden will watch you die, chief. So that one is tough. I'm gonna go Marvel vs. Capcom because they win.
One way
Like, yeah, they managed to beat back Galactus. Also, you got access to the Silver Surfer, you got access to Doctor Strange.
But you are an NPC, you're not the actual character. You're one of the.
But I know they will save me. NPCs in Mortal Kombat get bodied left and right. Sometimes they're even part of the combination. There are people walking in the background. A character will grab them and throw you at the bad guy. Now I'm in the fight. Now I must fight Shao Kahn because when you needed a combo breaker.
Shout out to MK9 because I always remember that old lady in Outworld.
No, MKX,
yeah, where they just grabbed and
Munna. She was living her life. She was trying to get, Tengamaskopa Sinyana. Now she's in the
wrong
fight.
place, wrong time. Wrong place, wrong time. Victim number one.
And you die also.
Literally. I think with what that said and all the information taken in, Marvel would be a safer bet. More so with these marquee heroes, especially when you're going to mention Silver Surfer. So yeah, definitely. Right. With Mortal Kombat, to play next thing KF Bopun just by a flying victim on the side. That example.
There's no insurance, chief. They just charge you the game.
I think, logically speaking, both universes are just as bad. It's just that you don't see the damage happening. And the dumb thing about it's Street Fighter. There's Marvel versus Street Fighter. They're fighting in the streets. More often than not, you just see they're busy chilling there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I was about to say that a Hadouken that misses the character will land on your body.
Mara, will it kill you like when Scorpion misses with the chain?
That's what I'm thinking. Like if Scorpion says, "Get over here," and
he misses,
dedicates, dodges, it's gonna come exactly.
Okay, what happens when the Hulk jumps up into the outer of atmosphere, grabs an asteroid and slams it right there next to you? Are you telling me you're just gonna have
Doctor Strange will bring me back.
That's better than watching a fatality from Sub-Zero.
Dr. Strange will bring you back. Also, here's the other thing, man. Even if you die in Marvel vs. Capcom, at least it's straight. You won't feel it. Mortal Kombat, when they miss, they're doing combinations. So now Sub-Zero tries to freeze a bra, your arm is gone. Now Scorpion throws a fireball, now your left leg is gone. Now it's painful. Now you're just watching yourself disintegrate.
Yeah, true. Okay. I've been convinced. It's not a debate. So yeah, I think I'll also stay in the Marvel universe, even though I'll avoid New York like it's a plague.
Why do people live there? Like, people say they won't live.
Because this is just the gaming side. This is just
But people will be like, yo, I'd rather pick New York City over Gotham. I'm like, in New York, the sky opens, guys. The sky opens. Demons will flood from the ground, and now you've lost your soul. And you're like, like if Doctor Strange sneezes wrong, you're in a different dimension.
Wrong place, wrong time.
I'd rather vote both cities. I'm sorry. Look, as much as you're right, there's a lot of bioterrorism things happening in the Marvel universe, in the Marvel New York. But the psychological horror of living in the same city as people like the Riddler, the Joker.
They're not bulletproof.
They're not bulletproof, but you are just as soft and squishy as they are, and they are accustomed to making your life a very bad day. Imagine, imagine you are supposed to go to.
Get myself an AR-15. It's fine.
You've been invited to like the Oprah show version of the show, and they've interviewed quote unquote the Joker, and then
Why would I do that? My black senses would be tingling.
they do that because he's reformed, guys. He's a new man, and then
He can be
out
reformed
of
from
nowhere,
a distance.
out of nowhere, Joker Venom is out there, now poisoned along with the whole audience. Nah, I'm good fan. Both cities can miss me with a mile.
But anyway, we here for SMILO, bro. So just for people who don't know, just give a quick overview of yourself and like what you do, especially with GEEK Sports and stuff like that.
Sure. My bio, I think it summarized in 2 or 3 paragraphs, given the amount of work I've done over the years. But in a nutshell, grassroots community gaming, entertainment, content creation, collaboration, all about collaboration. More so in certain industries, sort of like taking gaming in its own purview and move from the township saying, look, there's also other elements that could be added in. Because remember, in townships, it's a flavor of different cultures, different communities. In the media space, imagine in gaming, you have the caster, you have the comic book artists, only to find that the same concept has been explored with likes of AfroGeek, who bless the timing of things and opportunities opening up, reaching out to him to say, dude, what you're doing is amazing. I've been in the gaming space for 14, 15 years now, and if you're keen around that, I'm looking to merge my world with yours, in the sense that not only the collaboration would be a merge of both entities, the gaming and the artistry, but it's the collaboration, seeing lives of itself, empowering the talent. I also can assist in any manner, be it transfer of skills, be collaboration, and just everything else in between. So I might say I'm a catalyst, but a silent one, because I don't tend to play my role. I'd rather like to work and people that know me speak for me.
You see, before we see the depth that I talk about, this is what got me enthralled when we first met at the Afro Geeks, is that this level of conversation is uncommon, and I've got to keep in touch with some people like these because it's so refreshing.
It is. True.
But before we go any further, I just wanted to know how did you even start with this? What inspired you to go into gaming and all of that? I want to know the bug that beat you to even venture into this in the first place.
We're taking back to 2008.
Ding 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 ding.
The time where Hype Casino was still there, the time where the cool kid was selling mixtapes.
Yeah.
And in as much as that board was established and sort of like its own law of the happenings around the industry, I'm a geek. I don't think I don't smoke. Not that I'm judgmental of people that do that, but in my case, I'm like, is there space for geeks like me? Is there space for people to talk about Batman, the Riddler, and all these entities around it, about the IP itself? And the personing itself, that didn't have an answer at that time. I was like, you know what, let me rather take out myself and watch films. Not in a normal case of, hey, I'm going by cinema, yo, BuckMeister, come to me. No, me going alone, paying for 2 to 3 tickets to watch films the whole way. To now thinking, okay, I've got some spare change. What can I spend it on, given that I'm at a mall? Sure, there's food, there's, clothes, but I'm a geek. I'm not interested in that. I need something tangible.
Geeks don't need to eat.
But the pizza on the rise now, so we need to eat. Oh, this is Asia. Thank you, Asia. So at that time, remember, still young, so naive. Pass by CNA shop, I see 2 magazines, NAG and PC Format.
Shout out to NAG.
Shout out to NAG. Shout out to Rage, powered by NAG itself. So shout out to them. And then I see PC Format. I buy those 2 magazines, and then in a span of the whole evening, night to midnight, I'm reading and consuming both magazines, page by page, checking the sources from the writers themselves, checking the contributors. And then after all is said and done, I'm now literally wee hours of the morning of the next day. I'm so many dark. I haven't seen a black person from either the writing to representation to the media side of things. Something was off.
Even the games that you're probably reading about barely have any black characters.
Nothing. Yes, with the Japanese, remember, Nintendo's been there since the 1800s, so that's a different case altogether. But I'm looking at it from the scope of South Africa. As huge as it is, as diverse as it is, with even the promises of the World Cup coming in a few years, I'm not seeing anything representative of people in the gaming ecosystem.
Yeah.
Something is off. But I can remember, I'm still young, I don't have the experience, I don't have the knowledge. the best thing I could do is feed the hunger through excessive consumption. So from 2008 to 2011, it's me religiously. Every new month, people are going to church. Me, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to buy a new nag and put it for my magazine. Scream through that as if I'm reading the Bible. No change whatsoever. Esports is coming in South Africa. Telkom Do Gaming League is coming in schools. Yeah, but no too so high. I've never. The minute Do Gaming, what the heck are you on about? To me now, being like, okay, look. In as much as I'm a consumer of this, perhaps I could enact change through me searching for like-minded people. But how can that be done? Oh yeah, there's Facebook. Remember Facebook, guys? The same Facebook right now, which is
before ChatGPT.
We are quarter millennial and quarter to millennial here. We grew up on the
I think 2008 was the perfect year for Facebook at the time.
Yeah,
It was coming up.
it was at its zenith.
and I remember as guys and the communities at that time and how the mindset was in township. Facebook, oh my God, there's the ID, free ID, the one you want. If you've got the balls
Before
to
the
say,
streets of Tinder.
way before Facebook, search your name, search a lirato, pick the nicest face you like, invite.
Yeah.
And then in my case, I'm like, yeah, that's typical. I'm searching for gamers.
Yeah.
How the heck would I know? Because at that time, between 2008, with profiles, you can only invite or block. But you can't check the profile itself in terms of the bio, the info. So now, it's 2008. I'm not into the, this, that, and the third. We fast forward to 2011. I find the first, I won't say victim, but the first test subject to the plan itself.
Okay.
And the guy is beloved and well known in the country. Often Samwase, Owen Phillips. Often
Shout
Samwase.
out to Offense.
He knows Uncle Scrooge, the first guy that literally showed me the ropes of entertainment and camera. Shout out to him.
SMILO knows every.
Shout out to him.
SMILO knows every.
Shout out to him.
SMILO knows every.
Platform or a community to share it with.
Yeah.
Moto from townships.
Yeah.
So there's a profile. Often someone saying, go to info. Ooh, here's an Xbox 360. Okay. Rather, I now take the same concept of, hey, what's up? I'm this guy. I'm looking for gamers like me. If interested, let's be friends. Mind you, this is 2011, way before he even peaked on the
Of
industry.
course, yeah.
Was kind enough to say, dude, what you're doing is quite cool. Let's see what we can do about it. Added me, exchanged contacts, and then it's a case of me getting the learning from his perspective. Given that, I think at that time, Offense was an after
Yes,
third
it
or
was.
fourth year.
Right.
He was doing lands.
Okay.
Wait, the same lands I'm seeing in the NAG section of the Games of the Week, except in my case, these happenings are from the burbs. I'm in Kasi. Can't I take a similar concept and bring it to townships?
Right.
Because it's like, hey, dog, I don't know. Me, I'm an AVDA. These people tend to hook up events and I bring my Xbox. Nigga, you have an Xbox. Nigga, I'm still rocking PS2s over here. We don't even
course,
afford
yeah.
PS3s.
Yeah.
Dog, let's link up. I'll call you soon. I'm like, okay.
Right.
If then he's doing this from an institution purview, rather through him, find other similar guys through his mutual friends, and now take the same concept, introduce it to them. And it now leads up to the guys that met in Forstman Katlehong in 2012. The guys, esports sort of like name was SALG, Southern Africa League of Gamers, something around those lines. And same concept. See a guy, check his info. Oh, he has a graphic card. A guy that knows that he can have a graphic card. Definitely, this is what DM is.
Yeah.
DM the guy. The guy's open to us to say, look, it's December time. Let's meet up by Josie. I think it was around Bree at that time. Yeah, I'll pick you up from Bree. We'll go to Forstman. Okay, what's happening in Forstman? We're hosting LANs. Thank you.
Wow.
I've read about this in 2008.
Right.
It's 2011. Offense is doing this from an institution perspective. Now I've got a direct link of people doing it from the township perspective. And everything started from their owners leading up to where I am today.
But how was that first experience, seeing the land and everything at a township level?
Daunting, more so finding that they're way more knowledgeable than me. You know, as a geek, when you told yourself, I'm that guy, I know everything.
Yeah.
Up until certain conversations, saying why, and then wait, do I have dandruff on my fingers? Okay. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
I thought I knew things, but no, they're even much more established communities that even harvest info way more than you think. And the best thing to do if you have humility is be honest enough to acknowledge, okay, I don't know this, but I'm willing to learn.
Yeah.
And two, I'm looking to be part of this. How can I contribute? Done. That was the backbone of who I am today.
And I think one of the things that contribute to what many new age these new age coach doctor thingies refer to as ego death is that you need to enjoy the process or the thing you're passionate about more than your status in it. If you enjoy artwork, if you enjoy gaming more than the fact that you know everything about this game or who you are in this industry, and the people who know better than you excite you more than intimidate you,
Right.
or cause you to feel egotistically bruised or anything like that, because it's not a matter. It stops being about you. It starts being about enjoying the fact that you're in a council of peers,
Yeah.
and that when you love it more than you love your ego, that's when growth happens, and then things start happening. It just start tumbling forward.
I normally don't say this, but I will say, Tebello's wise words for the day.
Everybody,
You gotta smile at the
oh
camera.
yeah, no, you can take it off the bingo boxes, kids.
All right, so another thing that I want to touch on is the whole GEEK Sports thing. So how was that founded, and what was the idea and process behind that? Like, because right now, because we're seeing like there's like workshops where you be taking kids through games themselves or whatever. Sometimes you even collaborate with like local dev houses that are also. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you collaborated with Space Salad on something.
Not precisely them, but it's another developer. But it's along the same line
Yes,
of
okay. Yes, but basically like you kind of run game workshops and stuff like that with GEEK Sports.
For sure. In fact, it's two entities. To correct everyone that's also watching,
Okay.
there's GEEK Sports. It was formed in 2017, and my purview with them ended 2019.
Oh, okay.
So to your question, how it started? Literally, I'm a living, working encyclopedia. Yeah, it's 2017.
Okay.
I'm in college doing my second year in IT. You know, a geek being a geek, as usual, in a homely manner. I don't school Roma where you shop pass by shop. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but you know how I always have the greatest admiration and admiration for, also a bit of jealousy for guys who did IT, because I was terrible in maths and all this fancy stuff and everything, and I could not pay attention.
I don't know how I did it.
Not pay attention to any of this coding stuff. I was like, you know what? Just stick to your drawing.
Hey, guess what? There's a blow to that. The entire story of your admiration. I left IT because of coding. Revelation, doing. But again, it's I guess the way IT is, obviously there's maths behind. There's the physics also behind. It's a case of which stream within IT you follow. Given that we're inside of security, there's others there precisely. But given that it depends on other institutions offering which sort of like route, so to say, from the IT perspective, in which I came in for the hardware. Remember, the gaming was the palette that brought me to the industry, and finding that, look, I want to learn more of the runnings of a PC. Yeah, that's hardware, the software, sure. There's also maths. Oops. I think that's easy to say I'm more A or not, it's not me. But again, remember the template of the larger goal of wanting to see and be part of the industry lingers. So I'm leaving that, but still focusing on the larger goal at hand. Changing the scope of gaming, inclusivity. But again, being open enough to bring people better, having more talented than me.
I think it's also a matter of knowing yourself, but also learning how to teach yourself, because, I realized I was useless in maths, but I was very good in biology. I still know all the different biological terms. I know the actual names of DNA and all these things.
I
I was like, why was this more engaging than that? When I look back, it's because the teacher was actually telling a story. And when they put it in story format, the information started seeping in, because it's like, okay, so when your DNA is formed, they take these amino acids and forms this ribonucleic acid and then deoxyribonucleic acid, and then this is your DNA structure and everything. When I saw the image in my head, then I said, okay, now if I could take that image and put it into things like IT, I think I would have excelled. But this is me trying to grow my own here. I'm trying to make myself look good.
Could have been a catch-up class, life sciences, or Rage Expo, hosted by BuckMeister and the crew.
But I do want to get your opinion on that, since you're like in the Kasi, you're doing gaming, Kasi, and all of those things. Like, there's a lot of people who are trying to put like education into gaming and things like that. So, like, how do you feel about like taking that avenue to maybe say maybe this is a way to teach somebody something instead of textbooks?
I think it's
sorry, before you answer that,
sure.
After this, I would need you to go back to your story because we really
Yo.
we went off. We can't went off. So please answer, but also go back to your story after that.
I think regarding the edutainment, I think that's the category we tend to formalize with us. It's dependent on the type of person that literally running it from not only a passion perspective, but it's more so on a value proposition. Anyone can try to do the same thing, but what separates one from the other is how either the manner of approach or the offering. And it's been a case of with me juggling, managing an esports organization, which by then, mind you, from Ekasi Esports to Nia, it was all new. We literally were the pioneers in the country. And in fact, try to blow my horn and say Africa, because I did have friends between, I think it's Nigel and some around also northern part of the continent. They even were blowing horns for me to say, dude, you're the only one, the first black representative in Africa talking esports, and not only talking it, we're showing it visually on social media. And then at that time, with the market and how things was, we didn't have much of that. It's a case of I'm trying to start, I'm looking to collab with you guys. That's cool. However, I'm trying to formalize what we're currently running to make it stable enough for it to run itself. And at the same time, if it's a case of diverting either my expertise and also a collaborative manner to collaborate, the house can run itself. Meanwhile, I see what we can formalize with you. So in the case of timing not exactly aligning, given that we're trying to build something with a whole lot of people, I won't say putting a pressure, but looking onto me. So we can either do it right or not do it at all. So I'd rather say, dude, brilliant concept, but for now, can you put it at a back burner? Meanwhile, I sort the house.
Okay, cool. Let's get back to your story.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the story.
Okay, from which part, by the way?
You were using going to the shops as an example.
2017, going by ShopRite as usual. That time Penny was still alive, shout out to her as well. And it was a case of, in township, there's also like, in the periphery of the township, there's stores, there's vendors, and then there's that internet cafe. The same one you'd look at, I'm like, nah, I don't need to paint, I'm good, you pass it every day. And then for some odd reason, there's a billboard, like I see esports. Okay, the name esports, perfect Monica, it does. I'm intrigued. Let me start with what I'm needing to do in terms of assisting in the household, given that we were at that time, and then pass it to the gents and try to get sort of like the innards of what's really going on there. It's a case of, hey, my guy, Ekasi Esports, the owner is not here. I just running the PCs. Come back later, we'll tell him about you, and then just chop it off from there. Cool. During the week, go to college, come back. I'm here. Where's the owner of Ekasi Esports? Hey, my guy, it's you again. He's still not here. Try to chop it up perhaps on a different day. Cool. 2-3 days later, I come back. Hey, I'm here. Oh, yeah, this is the guy we're talking about. My guy, just take his numbers. He's the guy responsible for not only building and running the internet cafe, but he's the brain behind Ekasi Esports.
Which
Call him 2017. Call him and then chop it up and then take it from there. So it's a case of, okay, fine, I've got the numbers, the approach. It's not a chick, it's a guy, and it's a guy from the hood. Guys are sort of like a way of understanding or a way of catching a drift, depending on your manner of approach. Should I be the kasi guy, meaning I tone down the approach and the lingos and all these things I've learned from your NAG and PC format? Or I try to balance it both to say, look, I can do this, but if you want an example, here are pictures. And mind you, the same pictures I'm referring to are the ones I've posted from Katlehong and all other guys in between over the years. So I tried the first option, Schoa to the T. There's AI so feature, so I need to read the review to make sure that this makes sense. Okay, that's it.
Your English bundles are loading.
Fully, my guy. I can only change. Fully. I sent the first post. Who I am, what I do, what I'm looking to do. 2 weeks, silence. I knew it. You could smell a kicker with one cancer. Oh, he sees this. No, I'm not going to answer him. Option 2. I take that back catalog of content I've done with the guys from Foshlo, guys in Brown Fusion, then I can use that as a leeway to say, hey guy, it's that dude, what's forward, but I've got a surprise for you. Here's a backlog of things I've done. If you're interested, have a look, come back to me. Within a span of less than a day, I sent this, I think on the afternoon, run up at 5-ish. By morning, 7, I get a DM, numbers, details, let's have a meeting.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Also, you proved to that you're not just a talker. You also, you have like a.
Remember, Rekasi, who Nkasi has done or rather presented this.
Yeah.
So I'm now putting myself in his shoes to say, yes, I can write from
do you
A
trust
to
this?
Z. But how the feasibility, sort of like the feasibility study. Have you done whatever it is you're talking about? Sure, there's a backlog. Okay, my guy, let's talk. Name, place, time, date. Oh, okay, cool. Let's chop it up on this day. Meet. He tells me his background of the inspiration behind it, the whys, the hows. But in my encyclopedic knowledge of having collected all this information of the interaction I've had over the years, it's still not ticking those boxes that still linger from when I first started.
Right.
So I now become open-minded again. Do I have an ego telling to, I can do it better? Or do I tone myself down to work at his level? Okay, cool, that's cool, I could make it better. It's a timing thing. Be humble. Okay, let's do what you're proposing, but I can do better. No, let's stick to this. Cool. 2017, I think by August, I joined and I quit college. I'm in my second year for IT.
So you dropped out.
Literally, it's a case to say, now we're facing the point of studies where maths it's catapulted left and right. There's no case of okay, you break it, then I can skip math. No, it's there. I'm like, perhaps this is going to happen one way or the other. Here's an avenue I can try.
Just a piece of trivia for anybody that doesn't know the story. But Oprah, right? While she was at college, I think Quincy Jones called someone.
Sure, I remember
We
this.
don't remember the story.
Yes.
To say, look, we have a spot for you for a show. And she's like, but I'm in college. And then
I
Quincy's
need
like,
to go to school.
this is what you're going to do after college. What is well, just go there and do that.
His exact words. That's why you go to school, fool.
Exactly.
So that people can call you and give you an interview about doing this very thing.
Exactly. So that's exactly how she got into the game while still in college, and then she dropped out the college thing. So SMILO story is just similar to that Oprah story in my head.
Run the concept you have in mind. Continue following a passion or dream that also has other necessities I at that time don't feel are important.
Yeah.
I'm not here by mistake. The levels and the relationships and the struggles for me to get where I am weren't by luck. And either I do it or I try to pacify it through dragging the entire process to say, let me finish and then I'll come back. And then life being life, other opportunities pass me by. Now,
Also,
I'm going all the way.
I always say nothing ever learned is lost. You may not have gotten to the point where you got the degree, but the things that you have learned there, so that you still apply. And sometimes, funny enough, sometimes the people who don't make it actually apply the things at the textbook better than the people who finally get a piece of paper at the end.
Or things that are not even in the textbook.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just like life isn't on a textbook.
Life is a very
It's a guide. But the day to day, there's no guide because things don't go linear. That's how weird sometimes life is.
Yeah. So I've learned that. Well, I'm speaking from one college dropout to another. I eventually got my diploma, but in something completely different. I thought my life was linear. Like I'm good with drawing, so I must become a graphic designer, so that
Therefore,
I can see
yes.
when I saw life was saying, short left, short right here, and in the end you get where you need to go. The skills required in these different fields aren't lost. You will find ways to apply them, and even in those vacancies, I see that the mess dribbled you, but the passion for the esports didn't die because of this industry, and that's what kept the flame alive. It's a brilliant analogy. I think it's something people should learn more about, especially when they're confronted with the ugly thing called failure.
Yeah.
So true, in fact. Yeah, I think that's a 5 out of 5. We're gonna caption that, have a singular reel. We're gonna repeat it 20 times.
A haiku at the bottom.
Yes. Yeah, best trivia ever. Nice one, by the way.
Yeah, man. Okay, so you're in. Let's go back to your time at GEEK Sports.
Yes.
I just want to know,
what was the high for you during this time that you were doing all of these things? What was the thing where you're like, yeah, this is it? Like, you like not crack the ceiling per se, but like this is just a moment you'll remember forever if you have one.
Times even recount right now. I think it's at a time where we're doing the Ekasi Tech Fest.
Yeah.
So in as much as Red Raid right now, and Raid is like one of the marquee event organizers, which at that time, remember, it was by the Dome.
Yeah.
Come a specific date, the country knows that at this time to this time, the Drake Expo.
Yeah.
So imagine the same concept, except it's a baby version, but in a township. Ekasi Tech Fest.
Yeah.
You might not have sort of like all the nice teas you're going to be seeing at these big expos. Whatever small one you have, work with the people you have, introduce people, and convert the market to the possibilities of gaming and technology. Upon organizing the event, I get a DM on Facebook from, I think it's an executive producer for a show in SABC1, Lukasi Sukasi, and I've been chosen for them to profile me for a 30-minute slot for the show.
Amazing.
Mind you, it's happening whilst also planning the event. So it's a choice to say, wait, if I fumble the event, the fumbling is live on television for SABC. 30 million viewers are watching a live fumble to say,
It's getting worse.
but this time in the bootlegs and the stomach is cooking. It is cooking. I'm like, guys, if I film first and then we come sort of like to do a pre-recording. No, we're gonna come at the actual event. Yes, sir. So now it's the planning, and it's a case of acknowledging, oh yeah, by the way, SABC1 is coming to profile.
Oh my God.
Slim, you started, run everything, you come with him. It is what it is, I'm here.
Yeah.
I do it or I don't do it.
I think. Oh wow! I think I'm in my sage mode today. I don't know why I'm just taking whatever you say and making it into a moral of the story. But you know, there's always there comes a time in life where men have to step. Where man either steps up to what he believes in, or he needs, or he will forever be doomed to stay in the shadows. And this man stood up to the line, because you know what, failure. You fail 100% of the times of the things you don't try. I think that's the saying. So you tried, and the odds were not well. The odds may not have been in your favor, but they're certainly not zero. With the mere fact that you tried.
And trying, I very well did, sir.
Yeah.
Between managing players, when I say managing players, at that time it was 5 players.
Okay.
All my peers around my age, 2 of them are working full time. So it's this. Each and everyone from the team has a position they're going to have to do. People are going to have to man stations. We're going to have to invite certain stakeholders to see what we're all about, what we're trying to do.
Right.
We also have to impress everyone to show that this template might now not only be a concept, but now it's a workable living thing which they were part of. So fine, that comes around. Plus now my mindset also has to allow SABC1 to come, hey, so give us an overview amongst the intricacies of running an event. It was hectic, but I think the God's grace, given that people face and sort of like express pressure differently. You know, with others it's noisy, others it's the F-bombs which can even beat Quentin Tarantino's level. But with mine, I tend to be very, very mellow. The more stressed I am, the more mellow I become, meaning I'm now taking in everything I'm getting at that time.
Yeah.
And also having to have the adapt to be like, okay, you're on camera, you're not smiling, you see you're tired. Now come and come back and give us a bravado. No man, be serious, dude. Okay, cool, let's do it. Do that, balance the event, and mind you, the event was 2 days. No, it was 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I want to applaud that, you know.
We don't know what the sound levels
I'm
are.
physically applauding. Because
That's amazing.
that's
3
basically
days.
So I got a quick question though. So you're talking about how SABC came to your event and things like that. How do you feel about them covering stuff like this as well? Because I mean, I haven't personally. I don't know. Maybe somebody can correct me. But I don't know if I've seen like SABC, like, you know, coming to profile stuff like Rage and stuff like that.
Usually,
because
okay.
of their reach and their accessibility,
True.
I think it would be easier to bring in people from Bokasi or things to stuff like
True.
this. So yeah, how do you feel about, should they be here? Should they do more? Should we reach out more to get them to do more? How do you feel about that?
I think I'm at a good position, given that I have experience backing the claims I'll be making. It's a timing thing.
Okay.
Nothing beats timing. Nothing is ever early or late, but at the right time. And in my case, it was a timing. Remember, GEEK SPOT started 2017. My grassroots work started 2011. So already a body of work to whoever is in the industry now thinking if or if not, they should. But here's the work. Here's a template. What damage will there be with them coming? Let's risk it. Dude, you are in, you're selected. If you're in, there's no stopping. And everything aligned. Whereas now, remember, with how things are pre-COVID and post-COVID, pre-COVID, gaming was on an infancy, one.
Yeah.
Two, depending on who you ask, also from which medium, given that there are OG gamers who have been doing what we see here in Raid since 2005 professionally. But mind you, the context is from a classic perspective.
Yeah.
It's 2017. So now the timing is different. The impact is also different. Whereby for an OG, we like kids. Oh shame, look at them with the scoring PCs, nothing close to what we've done. Oh, by the way, trouble overseas, have you? Oh no. You can't even ask that. They're kids. Whereas with us, it's like, dude, we've never done this. We're in the same vicinity as you guys. Imagine that much of a privilege to even be included in the space. So it's a case of closing whatever external laws that's there and me hyper focusing on what's there and what I need to do. And that's it. Whereas now, back to answering your question, is it viable? Sure. But it's a case of do you need them? TikTok is there.
Yeah, and also, even if they do capture this whole thing, what do they benefit from it? You know what I mean? Because the reason I'm saying this is they would have done this a long time ago. Rage has been it's been happening since 2001.
What? 3, 4 for events, expos, and magazines. Yeah,
So
even as far
I
along.
just get the feeling they don't see an ROI thing from their side. But like you said, with timing,
Yep.
should this thing grow and become big enough, way bigger than they imagined, they will definitely.
Also, I've observed, it highlights one of the biggest things that for us to talk back then in the first place. Like,
Okay.
If we can't go, if they can't climb up the mountain, we need to climb up the mountain to that.
100%.
So SABC and all these things, they may not be encouraged, but why do we need them? It's because we want to reach to the people that aren't here. So if you answer that question and eliminate that need, they'll come along later on, yes. But so long as you answer that question, that we are now bringing awareness to the people that you want. So that's why I like the concept of classic resource, because I was lamenting and saying, dude, we can't need to take 15 taxis to come to these type of events. We need to have our own. We need to have it well. We need to have our own local township heroes. I need Pretoria championships. I need Metro championships. I need provincial championships. I need national playoffs at the end of the year. I need those type of things, but the only way we can do that is for people at the townships, at the locations, at the different places to realize, for me to go play, or for me to go take part in this tournament, I need to walk down the road, short left, Abomaman, there's the tent. That's how accessible we need it to become. And if you answer that, everything else falls into place. So when I first heard what you're doing, I was like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I want to make something like this.
But again, timing. I can't take the credit and blow my own horn. It's myself and everyone that was part of GEEK SPOT that they put in the whole in ensuring that it goes well. And then two, the minute the media comes along, it's not a case of now the shoulders being weighed down twice or thrice as heavy. Everyone had a role and everyone paid to the team. Yeah. Shout out to them, they know themselves. And yeah, SBC one was so impressed, the footage was lost.
Oh no.
We had to do retakes, meaning I think day one footage was scrapped. For day two, they had to come re-record. Something along those lines. But yeah, we had to re-record.
Is there a place where they can find the re-recorded footage for day two at least?
I think, if I could remember well, it's a case of, look, we can't find the recording. That first part of the interview, we're going to need to redo everything. So that's how they were so impressed with it, you're so knowledgeable than everything else. But unfortunately, we're going to need to do the same thing again.
Okay, so it happens in that professional setting too. Now I feel better because how many times have we said something during our recordings? Something profound, something deep, but gone forever. And you're like,
This time it's a show contracted by SABC. Lost footage.
I kind of feel sort of like I'm not as incompetent as I thought I was. I'm a little bit better than I thought I was yesterday.
Look, I think life happens to everyone, but depending on who you are from the industry, these things are privy to them happening. Remember, it's not as if you're going to be publicized to say, this show lost footage. No one can do that, but from the innards of people in the workings of them, you'll be told, hey dog, we lost some footage, but I need to re-record.
And then the other thing I wanted to also add, I got, this was from our friend, we call him Minato. I got a very interesting, he worked at MultiChoice, and he also worked at SABC at the back. So I got a shocking insight of the amount of actual views that are being generated from things like the SABC and MultiChoice compared to views that you find in things like YouTube, TikTok and everything. They say that the things that generate the highest amount of money for them would be things like whenever there's rugby playing, Super Sport generates the highest views. That's where they cross into the quote-unquote millions. But on average, 50,000 is a good day. It's usually
It's a decent.
It's like live events, live sports.
Yeah, it's a decent event. And I'm talking about things like all these soapies that you like, what people you think will be millions of people watching. 53,000, amazing, wonderful, good turnout. So when you have YouTube channels,
People are not trying to find out what Tembeka is doing on the next episode.
No, I think it's because of the option that they can watch it the next day. They can also catch up on it.
yeah,
I think the catch-up aspect cuts
Yes.
through the premiere, with TV, the premiere dictates the livelihood or the lifeblood of the show.
So that's why the live sports works, because it's appointment viewing. You either watch it now or you.
And to producers and execs, if they need numbers, obviously the first thing, how did you go at the premiere?
Right. Okay, I got a fun question because we're coming up on our time. I think we got about like 10 more minutes before we have to wrap up. 10 to 13, something like that. So, have you got a top 5 games that you played in your life? Have you got any, like, or even if you have like one favorite game growing
I've
up?
got a handful as a gamer, as with everyone else watching.
Okay, let's go.
Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, those things. Gents, if there's anyone,
But at the ending of Mass Effect 3, I have these.
I can even add to that. It's like you've pressed my buttons at the wrong time. You've activated my trap. Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. Another one I've rated now because I have an IMDb account. There's a section for games, there's a section for films and documentaries. I think my top 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Last of Us, I think I gave it an 8, the first one.
Wow, okay.
Even way before the series. If you were to go blindly to the game, it's an experience.
I personally even think that the game already did everything in the live action. And it did it
Precisely.
better.
I think also the difference of the interactivity to watching linear. Remember, to linear it's at the start, middle, and end. Whereas with gaming, yes, it's linear, but the experience of you getting there, depending on the decisions, where you go, what you do, changes from person to person. They say, yo, I took the right and this happened. Now I took the left. That's one thing about gaming that can't be paid. So, yeah, I think it's Mass Effect. It's that. It's Last of Us. And the last two, I think they are my hardest, given that I'm also been working right now to go back to gaming from a semi-professional in terms of reviewing and getting like-minded people also into the fold and also introduce to you guys as an avenue in addition to films. Yeah, I think at the top of my head, Mass Effect right now brings out as the classic, and also prefacing the point of the ending. We can blame the distributor EA. The ending was in stone, except the thought process of pushing and milking the player base via multiplayer. It was a sweet spot EA couldn't say no to. Therefore, cut the ending, force the players to play multiplayer and harvest whatever elos that after a certain amount of time, the minute you meet the minimum criteria, you get the right ending, the bad one stay to the bad ending. People didn't pay 500 to 800 rand for that. They wanted the full cake.
I just have a question for you before we run out of time. If there's someone watching this from Ekasi, watching you for the first time and they have no idea who you are and whatever, but they just got an idea now, what are the marketing shots that you can, words of words of wisdom, nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah, like what would you tell
casual
somebody?
viewer.
Yeah, like what would you tell somebody who's inspired by your journey and want to follow in your footsteps? That type of thing.
Two things: humility, open-mindedness. It's easy to say I know. It's harder to say I'm willing to learn. That.
So you must have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset.
The fixed one can also limit you in terms of approach.
Right.
Time change, situations change, people change. But if there's a certain instance that comes and you're not privy to it and you're not willing to be open to it, it becomes harder to adapt.
Would you encourage them to follow their gut?
I'd encourage them to put their all or put nothing. Or else, how would you know unless you would have tried?
Yeah.
Put your all or nothing by teaching SMILO. That's a good title.
Oh, okay. That's the title.
Right there. Title drop. Title drop right there. That's fantastic. All right. I just wanted to say about Mass Effect is that the way you explain why you enjoyed it, and the fact that in Mass Effect it's one of those few times where actions have consequences. If you killed the one character at Mass Effect 1, guess what? He stays dead in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
And you feel the upsets.
Yes, that I'm no Paragon and Renegade for life. I know these things that happened back in those days. I watched Mass Effect because I could never.
Okay, sure.
I could never really get. Like, I told people I'm a PC gamer by heart. So give me the top 5 PC.
Sure.
PC. But Mass Effect was so immersive for me as a storyline because I could see that your choices, he messed up here.
And the ramifications.
And the ramification means it's gonna be hard for these people that you need to help you here to help you.
Literally, a part of you will be forced to see what could have happened if we were alive.
But I have one thing. I'm just like, hey guys, we want to make black characters. Can we vary up the hairstyles? You know,
Hey, the hairstyle issue, yeah, that's another
Brush
episode.
Brush cut for the max.
That's another topic for another time. Even how even Spider-Man it influenced for the second version of Spider-Man. It was still a halabaloo for certain cultures.
Okay, but I think we're gonna shut it down. So, Tebello, can you take us out?
Anyway, if you lasted up until this point, thank you so much for being here. You guys are strong. We do hope that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. All of these other people here, they have their various social medias. The links are below. The credits are coming up now. Slowly, and the theme music. Yeah, so keep listening, keep following us. I didn't even introduce you guys. We were so shocked at the beginning.
No, we are away. Don't worry, but they'll follow the links. But we just wanted to shout out Space TM for hosting us.
Yes, thank you so much to Space TM for this opportunity.
And also, one last thing. There's usually an ending I say the other channel. I'm not going to say it because you're live and music issues for that. I want to be viral, okay? Because I want to be as viral as possible. Then the only way you can do it is to talk about this. So please go talk about this to all your friends and family. We love you guys and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.